Welcome to the live. Thanks for being here. Good morning, good afternoon, um, wherever you are. Uh, welcome. So these celebrities have been doing too much. Like I can't even hardly keep up. But we have a full agenda of nonsense and good things. So welcome the members. I just want to shout out, the members. Welcome subscribers. It's open to all, unless people start acting up. We gotta put just subscribers. Member Texas Flower, thank you so much for being here. Edward, hi, Miss Marianne. Member Miss Marianne. Um, let's see who else. Uh, let's shout out some of the members as well. Let's see. Uh, Thank you again for being here. Let's see what we have. Uh, back. Thank you, Tendo Brown. Thank you so much for that. That's very nice. I appreciate that. Thank you. Um, let's yeah, just want to shout out some of the members. Um, let's see who we have. T Star Rio, of course, Vibrant Numerals, Miss Lachelle, Salute, one of my first members, Miss Thelma, V Stokes, Recovery Woman, God's favorite sinner, Yolanda, that girl. I'm just shining some of our members that are always participating and just supporting. Member Miss Lisa, welcome Penelope, um, Life's Journey, Jessica, Divine Eternal, TM. Uh, let's see who else. Because Nicholas, Nickelodeon, um, and so on and so forth. So some of our members, thank you so much. Hopefully, thank you so much, Miss Marianne, for that super sticker. Thank you, I appreciate. Lord have mercy. It's just so much going on, right, guys? Like, what the hell are they doing? Um, hello, everybody. Yes, yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. All right, yeah, it's been a couple weeks. Y'all been here and there, everywhere. I've been everywhere. Um, it's outside. Let's see my UK meeting. Oh no, he's driving in the rain. Oh, shout out to the Divine Nine. I bleed blue. Uh, definitely bleed blue. I gotta rep real quick. But okay, so let's get started. Um, Jesus Lord. So listen to this. These are some of the things we have on our docket for today. So we have Drake's appeal. Um, we have Kanye West getting bans from the UK. Um, we have Pushisty and Gucci Man. Lord have mercy. I'm just gonna give my brief again. This is my opinion. Some people are gonna disagree. I'm not a stranger to losing subscribers. I'm not a stranger to gaining subscribers. So I appreciate everybody, and I only want to resonate. I only want to be. I attract the people that I resonate with, like-minded folks. I'm the unpopular opinion. I guess, a brave small channel that likes to tell the truth. The stuff that these big content creators, compromise. I'm definitely not compromised. So I definitely tell the truth. And if you've been in my previous lives, you know that I am, I'm saying just my own truth. And a lot of the stuff I disagree with, that everybody agrees with, I see things from a different lens. Um, so we also have Cardi B. Um, we have and some of the guests that she's had. We have this new music from TDE as well. um Kendrick updates with this FIFA, the World Cup, and Baby Keem's tour about to pop off. Offset and the shooting with that happens. We could touch on Jack Harlow, but it's like, look, letting people in the barbecue, but letting people just stay to even come in to begin with. My opinion is probably gonna be brief on that. J Rock may have new music dropping. Eastside Johnny is the album that he's teasing. So yeah, there's just so much going on. Um, let's see. Okay, so let's see what else we have. Make sure that we have everything that we said on the list. I mean, that's as it is. That's even too much to me. They be doing the most for real. Let me see. Yeah, so pretty much that's what I have. And anything that you guys can come up with, or anything that you guys may want to discuss. Um, so brief. Okay. All right. So we're gonna begin with. I don't even know. This is so funny to me. So we'll pack out Drake real quick. Let's start with Drake real quick. He has this appeal, and he's still trying to grasp at straws. He's still trying to he doesn't take a loss. He doesn't take a loss. He can't take no. And he's still this album has been fake cooking for like 2.5 years. This Ice Band, which I call melted ice at this point. I don't think he's gonna put it out, but if he does put it out, because he's narcissistic enough to think that he is authentic. Right now, anybody putting out an album has to be extremely authentic. The production has to be A1, because Kendrick and Keem set the bar in heaven. Like sky is the limit. They set the bar so high that people they show this is what an artist does. They sign, they connect, they do album signing, they connect with people, they put out good work, they stay in the lab, they stay cooking, they don't bring something out until it's top tiers and it's authentic, it's their feelings, you connect with what they put out. And this is what happens. So once they and the production is amazing. Baby Keem's album was stellar. The GNX album and all of Kendrick's album have not missed. Never. Okay, so this is a space for people that love Kendrick and agree that he has not missed. Everything was needed. Again, people talking about the Mr. Morale and all that was so depressing or whatever. He had to show you what he's been through so that you could learn something from him, and he is not above the program. He is human and he's showing you his emotions, and there was bangers up in that, and everything was needed, and the concert was bonkers. That most a lot of my footage that I have is from Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is amazing. That tour was insane. All of his tours, the damn tour, he just keeps outdoing himself. So when you set a bar like that, people like Drake don't know where to go, what to do, and what to put out. So he got all his flunkies. Drake has all his flunkies telling him, take out the bangers, put this, do that. Please don't put love songs. Yes, put love songs. Or you need to do bars, because most of his ghostwriters allegedly quit. So now we're gonna get the real Drake. Y'all don't want it. We've seen samples of that. We're still not over Wagwan Delilah and whatever that mess was. And Nokia, he gets no credit for that because it's a kid in, I think it was Africa, the one that created the beat and wrote the lyrics. So and the hook. So yeah, he gets no credit for that. So the only other thing he's trying to win, the battle that he's trying to win is the legal battle, and that's going poorly because he already lost and had to do an appeal. Let's see what y'all saying. I love Kenya. Something's going on in the water. Yeah, Miss Texas, it's out of control. Chris Brown is on tour, and I'll be putting information about that. Chris Brown and Usher, that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be insane. You and I both know it's like toxic madness, but amazing songs. Um, Usher's a little weird to me, If you know, you know, but uh okay, either way. That's about to that already is viral. The fact that they announced that tour, so Usher and but it is what it is. We're good. We all Drake haters. Temple Brown is like, yeah, we in the same space. Hello, how you doing, Liza? DNG, thank you. So Usher is Usher is it's fine. Yeah, so I mean, people like, you guys like who you like, but that's gonna be crazy. So um I'm just gonna read something here for you for the Drake appeal. There was an amicus brief filed of social scientists and legal scholars that are attacking against Drake's record label, the deal, the Not Like Us, and they're basically giving reasons to why this thing is not going to work, and the discussion is extensive about history and diss tracks and having freedom of speech. So now the amicus brief scholars have entered the building. Let's see, scholars from the country. Um, so it's a variety. It's not just one. So it's a group of people, professors. Um, it's just getting crazy. So there, and last time that happened, that didn't work very favorably for Drake. So now with this amicus brief, it urges the Second Circuit to recognize treating of rap lyrics as factual. Like they can't treat it as factual because then the issue's gonna hit the fan with rock and roll lyrics, where everything lyrics, and we all going down. If rap lyrics go down, we all gotta go down. Get the country singers up in here, the ones singing about she left me in the rain with 5 kids. Everybody's gonna be coming up like, yo, he talking about me. So the issue's really gonna hit the fan. You know, so if they can't control that, it's going to be a revolution. So protect the culture, protect hip hop against all these people. To me, I've always said it, Drake, and we're going to talk about Kanye next. Kanye, J. Cole, all of these people, when the culture and when their tactics don't work. By the way, they've all shown you who they are. They tell you who they are. False prophet, J. Cole told you he's a false prophet. He's fake woke. Kanye West with all this, blaming it on his health, mental health. People with mental health don't crash out always, and you can't blame it on mental health. And while, so we're going into Kanye West right now. So while I do agree that once his mother died, because if you ever seen videos of him and his mom in interviews, like she was a tough little cookie with him. She was. And she'll be like, boy, you better straighten up. Like, what are you talking about? And when she was alive, he had that beautiful fiance, that black beautiful queen, Alexis, and she was just non-problematic. She was like an interior designer, a model, and you never hear no nonsense about her. And right now, she's living her best life, married with children, and chilling. And she dodged a humongous bullet. So yes, after his mother died, in my opinion, he went even crazier. You understand? But he was always showing himself and being sporadic and being erratic behaviors on stage, but after that, he just went off the deep end. And how many times are we going to excuse some of the stuff he said? Remember, he wore that White Life Matters t-shirt with that other prick. Took a picture, video, talking about disabled children. I don't know that you could just buy an article or just put on the front of the New York Times or whatever, just an apology. Just pay for an apology. To me, that's insincere, and he's just been uh, he's just been doing that for years. He has every time he has an album also about to drop, he goes crazy and becomes very contrarian, and it's like clout chasing and going viral by some means necessary or all means necessary. And while he does complain online, you hear him saying, Kim Kardashian got my daughter wearing makeup and she's only 12. Right. But you're parading a woman that's naked in the Grammys or wherever, and she dresses poorly around your little young children as well. So y'all just deserved each other. That y'all a hot mess. He needs to, but the thing is that people support, it's like a guilty pleasure. Some people, a lot of people, it goes to show you how many people forgive and just be like, yo, but he created graduation. He got, college dropout. He got this. Yes, he is an amazing artist. He is. But at the same time, you have to live with integrity. You have to stand for something. And the stuff you said, all these anti-Semitics and all these statements, there's people that really suffered the stuff that you're making fun of. And you're not, once things don't work out, they abandon the culture. J. Cole talking about culture. Like, what is culture really? Kanye West, Drake abandoned the culture. He wanted, as soon as the shit hit the fan, he's hanging out with all these guys that um that are supporting white uh, you know the ideals, kind of like KKK, just anti-black, anti culture. And that's what it is. As soon as the culture doesn't work for them, because we discovered, see, I never liked a lot of these people. I never liked a lot of these people. I thought Drake was kind of fake, and like they created him. They had all these writers, had all this beat, had all this stuff. And the same thing now, J. Cole, yeah, he can write, he can make things rhyme, but I'm not impressed with you could write or whatever, because everything you write, you're just the opposite. He's the antithesis of himself. He's the opposite of himself. Everything he stands for, he degrading women in his lyrics, doing crazy references. You've seen the lyrics, if you heard the lyrics about slavery, he's always talking about a noose, this, and hanging and all this. I can't resonate with any of that. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. So Kanye West has been banned from the UK. um Part of the reason that they banned him, hello mysterious mermaid, part of the reason that they banned him, let's see, was because of his statements. A lot of his statements that he has made, and they're not, I guess, so forgiving. Now, there's a lot of people saying, what about the Epstein file? Everybody that has done wrong has to pay. Put them all together. You know what I'm saying? They gotta pay. The difference is that Kanye came from the culture, and that's why it's a damn shame. How you all so pro black? President Bush don't care about black people. Y'all remember that? Um, you're gonna go from that, from defending us and being, an advocate for us, to completely turning around, going to the White House, hugging Trump and wearing a MAGA hat and all this and that. So who you are today is not who we fell in like with. It's not who you were. This is your new self. And Kanye West can control his, notice how he put out the statement, and now all of a sudden he can control his actions. He's not posting outrageous things because he has a concert and a tour going on. So he's on his best behavior. So for me, if you can control it sometimes, if you cannot control it at all times, then you just Google crazy, whatever, you have more issues and less tissues. But the fact that he's now on his best behavior because he's on tour tells me everything we need to know. So the UK, it has banned him because anti-Semitic comments, pro-Nazi remarks, not conducted to public good, his behavior in public, his presence. They deem his presence harmful to the public, and political backlash, and just a bunch of stuff. So that's what it is. So they cancel the whole wireless festival behind that, um, because I believe he was the headliner. So I don't know what y'all think. Let's see what y'all saying. Um, who else can we all love? Lamar? um, where's- so yeah, let's see what's happening. Yeah, so Kanye West is gonna. I never liked Kanye or Drake. Oh, Texas, yeah. There you go. There you have it. So that's that. Like I said, I liked Kanye West music, but then I've always looked at his actions, and it's like, what the heck is this guy really up to? Like, what is his problem? You know what I'm saying? And I got completely turned off by his just outrageous. He goes on beast mode and beyond disgusting, disrespectful uh, things that he says and does. Okay, because it's not only just what he says, but you're wearing a and then, by the way, the one of the most disturbing things that he has said was that George Floyd died of a fentanyl um overdose, and that cost him a $250 million lawsuit that the family, particularly the mother of George Floyd's daughter and family, put against Kanye West, and that was settled out of court. So yeah, how dare you? You know how many protests and how the we went crazy over the injustices with police brutality, and you found it in your heart, in your mind, in your heartless heart, to actually just be like, yeah, he just was a druggie or whatever. When we all watched footage and what that does, and his daughter has to see that one day. So yeah, 250 mil, and he settled. So his mouth has cost him money because he's out of control and very self-centered. Because if people said that about him, he wouldn't appreciate that. Or if something happened, God forbid, to um his family, he wouldn't appreciate that. Um, Shirley Johnson, how you doing? So moving right along, um, Pushisty, Lord have mercy, I don't even know. Like Pushisty decided to feature himself on World's Dumbest Criminals. Yeah, that was unforgivable. Mysterious made, yeah, unforgivable what Kanye West has done. So yeah, and by the way, one more thing. Yes, he's Kanye West tour. Yes, he's putting he's it is the visuals. He's on top of the world. He's bringing out Lauren Hill. He's bringing out a bunch of artists. But to me, things have to resonate, and I read energies. I can't resonate with someone that has literally said so many and done so many disturbing things. And to me, it's like they could buy everything. They could buy their way back into the culture with an apology. So it's like I'm gonna put a marquee at in Times Square, and y'all should all forget about it. And most of the people, like, there's a lot of dumb people, and most of the population want to see. A lot of the people want to see him in concert. There, the queue was like a million people waiting in the queue to order, but it is what it is. I told you, me, my community, people that are like minded, we on. When everybody's in the to the left, we on the right side of things. Or we are the unpopular opinion. So I can't forgive that. There's too many great artists that I could choose from that I could support. Our hard earned money. I'm not spending hard earned money. And we work hard. I'm a workaholic. For me to spend that money on somebody that has literally just disrespected everything that slaves and people enslaved, people that have fought for the culture, our ancestors, everything that they fought so that we could have an easier life. And you just throwing it all. Yeah, slavery is a choice. Is what you saying to it. You just live by what you say. Then live by what you say. Stand on it. It's called karma and consequences. Have a taste. So all of them are similar to me. Drake, all of them. They don't respect the culture. They're not authentic. They have a talent of whatever. You sound like a rapper. You could make music. You're a producer. But it is what it is. To me, it doesn't resonate. Don't hit. None of it hits to me. I never liked Kanye's music. I used to like his old stuff. Yeah, yeah. Edward. Well, Drake and Kanye. Tendo said the same thing. Texas has said the same thing. So Pooh Shiesty, like we said, trying to um feature himself as the world's dumbest criminal, and he decided to um kidnap. I mean, you just commit a crime. Let me just say that Pooh Shiesty was released from uh, jail, prison, was released in October of 2025. Messed up, got himself locked up, was released in January 2026. Let me just make sure. In January. And within 3 months, he's messing up again. And this time, you just want to take it because there were no consequences. So Pushisty, I don't listen to Pushisty. I don't care. I could care less. They're just and I know he's has this thing with Cardi B that he's always like trying to flirt with her or say whatever. And Cardi B cannot even look his way, because we're gonna talk about Cardi B. She gotta eventually learn, But I don't think she's giving him the time of day either way. So, um, yeah, Memphis. So he's in federal custody right now for kidnapping and robbing from his uh boss, label boss Gucci Mane, and at gunpoint in the Dallas studio. Um, Pushisty wanted to be released from his contract, 1017 record contract, and Gucci Man has signed it under duress. So he signed it, um, and but it wasn't, the signature is not recognized because he signed it under crazy circumstances. So his father allegedly orchestrated, and Pushai's father. This is the sickest part of it all. Pushai's father helped orchestrate this thing, and the FBI is now involved. He pointed an AK 47, an AK style, you know what, Blicky, and to be released from his contract. A federal judge ordered him to remain in jail for his hearing. To they're gathering more evidence, but then this is just nonsense. There were other people there. They robbed, they stole jewelry, cash, and then they go posting on it. You know what I'm saying? Then they all online, posting and showing what they took, and other people were with him. I'm not sure all the other people that were with him, but the fact that the father hasn't learned anything, and this is the example that you're supporting your son's behavior, is cuckoo crazy. But the thing gets crazier. It gets crazier because look, I don't like Gucci Man either. I'm sorry, and I know he has hits and everything, but like I said, I don't like a lot of things. And it's not that I'm a hater, it's that I'm a lover of authenticity. That's a bar. That's a bar. Um, so he literally spit on our ancestors' grave, mysterious mermaid. Look at all the people that have worked so that we can have this freedom, that had did the ultimate sacrifice so we can speak and be on and have, be content creators, be sitting in wherever we want on a bus, just do whatever. So um and throw it all away, and this is we're some of these people are an embarrassment to us. There's people that are not from the culture that think we are this, we are that, and these people proving them right. But that they can't brush all of us with the same brush. But at the same time, it's like, and I know that people are saying, what is all this shooting that's going on, that goes on in hip hop, right? It's like, and I've heard jokes and stuff online like, I don't want to be a rapper, I don't want to get shot, right? Okay, I understand that. But at the same time, yeah, the Caucasian counterparts and people in rock and roll, they got problems with overdosing too. So, we all got issues. But at the same time, we're dealing with us and fixing us. All this shooting, all this drama, all this outrageous behavior, and right now the systems are crumbling, so everybody, the party is going to die. That song from Kendrick has so much more meaning. Do you feel it? Do you understand? Because a lot of people don't even understand what the party was going to die meant. Do you understand it now? The party has to die. That means all the people that are not real, that are inauthentic, the veil is an opening, the curtains are opening up for all of us to witness and see, like, oh, this what you all about, this is what you're doing. And now everything's dismantling, and only the real will survive. We're sifting through the rubble. We're sifting through the rubble, and only the cream of the crop is going to remain. Thank you so much, Sex. Yeah, Miss Marianne. I will never give my money to any musician who diss our culture. Amen to that. Texas said. So then it gets crazier because Gucci Man, he has, you know, created a life of no snitching, no matter what. And I guess, he posts a lot, and he's been posting for years, and even up to recently, he's like he'd rather die than snitch, right? And he was quite disrespectful to Jeezy in that verses as well. Just like he wants to come across as such a gangster. So you can't have it both ways, because he's acting like a gangster, but then I got a family and I'm a businessman. So allegedly he told, well, he put out a diss track which sounds like a statement, a police statement. Again, they both go, trying to compete for whatever, uh just dummies, right? So he says he doesn't snitch, and he doesn't call the cops, he rather die, right? But he puts out a tell-all diss track, which was absolute garbage. I don't understand how anybody. I literally seen a few content creators and they jam into this thing, and I'm like, that is dumpster juice. That song is trash. It's just like rhyme. It's like a like he gave it to kindergartners to come up with it. You understand? Like it's just it's incohesive, and it lacks structure. It lacks just um the beat is trash. Everything is garbage about it, my opinion, like, of course. And he's just telling all. He tells everything. He says what happened, and basically that he kind of sought out help from the authorities or whatever, or he's just putting it out. So either way, he's putting it out because the song is called Crash Dummies. I'm not uploading that because it's a dumbass song. I don't care for it. They have to go. So again, all of them are coming down. The whole thing, and I don't know if his contract is trash, and it's like his contract may be unfair, but either way, that's not how you handle things. So now they're canceling Gucci or whatever they're trying to do. I don't care because I don't take part of that. I don't even think he's a great artist. I don't know what he's doing. Um, and he's bragging about in the song, like, yeah, I'm like Birdman. First of all, Birdman, you talking about Birdman, the one that sleeps on stage? Yeah, that's what you talking about? Man, they could all burn slow. So now, like I said, Gucci Man is on the fire because he's like, I don't snitch. And that song reads like a statement, like a police statement. So that's just craziness. This is all the craziness that's going on. Yeah, Mr. It has to go. And all the craziness has to stop. It's out of control. So from one crazy story to the next. So like, now let's talk about Offset. Dear Lord Jesus. I agree. He shouldn't release a Pushisty diss track. No, because if he did talk to the authorities, now we know, unless this is his statement, that he put out, like, I'm not gonna call the cops, but I'll put a diss track that said everything that happens, and maybe send it to the police department, or somebody can share with them or whatever. Like, I don't know what the hell's going. It's just craziness. So anyways, you can't say stuff like, oh, I'd rather die than whatever. You make stupid statements, you get stupid consequences, and you can't, because none of these people are living and saying how they authentically live. They keep putting out lies and saying statements that sound gangster or whatever, and now they have to live by what they said, and they can't because they were violated. He's an actual victim of a crime now. So it's just out of control. So, Lord Jesus, let's talk about Offset. Offset. Who is trying to get rid of the Migos? Who is trying to eliminate the Migos, yo? Like, it's out of control. But at the same time, we're gonna get into details about Offset, and his shooting, which was a top story. When we heard that, I was like, oh dear Lord. So Offset was, let me see, Offset released from, okay, so he was released from the hospital. um so rapper Offset was released from the hospital, after, he was shot about a week ago at a Hollywood casino, outside of a Hollywood casino. So Offset has been released. We're incredibly grateful. They're saying, the rapper statement, thank you to everybody, etc. He put out a statement. Thank you to everybody who checked in on me and showed me love. I'm good. I'm planning to be better. That's what he said. I'm planning to be better. I'm focused on my life, my recovery, and getting back to music, realizing that life is made up of quiet wins and loud losses. Life's a gamble, and I'm still playing to to win. Respectfully, look, respectfully, because the reason why I'm saying that is because okay, Offset has financial challenges allegedly. Okay, so this I'm gonna give you some background. First of all, he needs to really reevaluate. When people get shot and they go to the hospital and they have time in the hospital, two things can happen. They could just be like, "Yeah, I can't wait to get back and be a knucklehead again." If it was some negativity behind them getting shot and not just an innocent victim. So because there's some negativity behind him getting shot, um, it's like a beef or problem that he was having. So the thing is, or people can be in the hospital and really reevaluate their lives. Now he's sounding like he's reevaluating his life, and we'll see what happens. But there is a lot of talk allegedly about Offset owing people money and owing casinos, etc., money. So what's been happening is, let me see. Let me get it. So Offset, let me get to it. Yeah. So he owes like some casinos. Let's see. I'm getting the yeah. Okay. So rapper Offset has gambling debts allegedly, right? Where it's like he did a credit line of 100K at um at a Detroit casino, and the Detroit casino filed a lawsuit against him in March. He owes about 100K. Then he has other things that he was owing IRS, etc. Um, some people saying an NFL stated that Offset owed him. Des Bryant said he owes him 8K. Little Taj, which is who he had a problem with at the casino, claims that Offset owed him 10K. Warned him of to bring the money or he was gonna get pops or whatever the situation. So it was reported that they had a clash at the casino with Little Taj, I guess. And that's another thing. People need to not now, Offset was without security. You have to understand that whether you're rich or not, and if you're famous, you need security. You need to walk around protected, or you can't just be everywhere. He needs to sit the heck down and figure out his life and take care of his children and just do what he got to do. Because the thing is, none of these people are putting work into a studio. They're not living in the studio like Kendrick. You understand what I'm saying? None of these people putting in the work. They're putting in the work to being negative, to being in the wrong place at the wrong time, to just doing the most. So he was outside of a casino, uh, whatever the situation, and was had a verbal altercation and was shot. So he needs to reevaluate what he's doing and put the money in the music. Now, had he been producing songs, because he had a little song out a few months ago, had he just been working and working, and if he can't do an album, do an EP, do a mixtape, and putting out music, he would have had a little tour, or he would have had a concert or something, and had put himself in the eyes of concert organizations or things where they'll be like, oh, Offset has a nice hit or a couple hits. We want Offset at this event, at this festival, so that he could give himself positive visibility. But because he's like doing all these things, and it's not right that he got shot, but he needs to really sit back and reevaluate what's going on with his life and the situations that keep happening. And it's ironic that Takeoff was also shot as well. um, he was shot outside of a Houston bowling alley. It was like late, but and then again, I'm saying like these, you know, they have to walk around with security or just be careful and mindful of where they go. You understand? Sometimes the hood don't love people. There's people that are jealous. If you're walking around, that's happened to so many artists. You understand? Walking around with jewelry unprotected. uh from like if you know, you know, the Lost Boys, Freaky Tie, you know, like walking around at late at night at a club with jewelry and no security in sight. So they need to be careful. I'm glad he's okay. And, you know, it is what it is. It's time to reevaluate. They got to do better. So let's talk about Cardi. So that, yeah, these people. So Cardi has been, you know, on her tour, Little Miss Drama tour. She's been on her tour, and you know, it's ironic because she was part of um VH1's Housewife or whatever the show was, and she kept telling people like, "I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna do this," and she has made it. She has made it, but at the same time, she has good intentions and she's trying to be a good mother and everything, but she needs to also reevaluate a lot of the people that she's choosing to be around or to have. She really needs to sit down and think about, I can't keep picking a bunch of people to just be baby daddies moving too fast. And you know, and she, you know, this needs to distance herself and know her worth. Her tour is good, you know, it's going on. She brought out little Kim. She's bringing out, I think Patti LaBelle came out with her and everything. Patti LaBelle was there supporting her, but I personally think she be doing too much. She has little girls and she needs to show her worth. And there's certain things that she be doing that I really don't agree with, because if you see the footage of the show, yeah, she's rocking out, doing whatever. And Stefan went to one of her concerts, by the way, and that was weird as heck. And it looked like they were leaving together. So everybody that be in her business, like, girl, you gotta do better. Until she don't get tired of being used or being, you know, just taken advantage of, or having like 10,000 baby daddies or whatever the situation is, until she doesn't get tired and takes back her power and knows her worth and knows that she deserves better, she's just gonna keep attracting these type of people. And also, some of the things that she does on her show is outrageous to me. It's like too much. If you got little girls, as a bad example, period. Why do these people continue to gamble their money away instead of doing good things with it and for the community, right, Texas? And not just that, it's like if you don't have that much money, then you know, go into the studio, put the money. It's like, where are you spending your money? Put the money in a studio, put the money in working, hire a producer, put the money in a producer. Like, okay, I need to make good music. I got this much money that I can play with. Let me get somebody, let me get this producer. Let me see if I could afford this person. And just take a chance, invest in that, in your gift. But the thing is that a lot of these people treat the culture and hip hop like a grift. They just want to make money. What do you want? Remember, Offset was always with the money phone and showing off stacks and stacks of money. All that was cap. You understand? Because it's like all you spending 10,000 on a belt, 20,000 on whatever. You know, $100,000 watch. Stupidity. You know, there's people that they are given the gift, but they will lose it and lose all the money, because it's like, I'm gonna give it to you, but what you're gonna do? What did you do with your gift? What did you do with your 24 hours? Did you spend frivolously? So the same way you gain all that money, the same way you could lose it. And now he's getting a horrible life lesson, you know, Offset and a lot of other people, because they're not authentically doing music. They got the talent, but they're not using it because they just wanted quick money. So now he got to decide. He put that little statement out. Now he got to decide, do I want to work on my gift and continue doing my gift to bring understanding and bring smiles and, you know, bring happy music, or, you know, positive messages or whatever, and bangers or whatever you want to do, or do you want to keep gambling? This is what they do with their money. This is what they did. So, and speaking of Cardi B, like we were saying, you attracting these type of people, because if she knew her worth, she wouldn't even give. I knew that Stefan was. They say Stefan is like Offset. If you unscramble the words, I'm asleep. If you unscramble the words, Stefan is Offset, spelled differently. Basically, with a little bit more money. But what's happening with Stefan? He lost his contract. You know, it's just getting crazy. It's literally getting crazy out there. So, Cardi B, she's doing great as far as her tour and everything, but she needs to, again, me personally, if you see this Cardi B, Shout out to you, Bronx, Dominican, Trinidadians, you know. But you need to know the same way you believe in your gift and your work ethic is top tier, you need to put that same work in knowing that who you pick to be around your kids and who you pick to that to give your environment and to share your environment with. Are they worth your time? You need to set real strict boundaries with a lot of people and have more of a discernment to be picking people because she keeps picking the same people. And she is free spirited because she was saying, like, in some of her lyrics, she was like saying, like, you could have a threesome, but just let me know, let me in on it. That doesn't always work out. Just saying, look, I know there's some polyamorous people. I don't want to step on shoes, but if you know, you know, when you have mixing all this energy, all this toxicity, you're swimming in a pool of toxicity, and then you wonder why you're dirty. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't work. Know your worth. Know that all these people just there for a good time, not a long time. And you got children. You got little boys, little girls. Your children are looking at you. Yes, they're gonna learn from your work ethic, but they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I could just do whatever." So it's like we made the wrong piece. Sometimes we made the wrong people famous. No more gambling. Yeah. All of this is just sad, Miss Marian said. Most rappers have always been fake gangsters. The real ones don't just rap that they are gangsters. They live their life and it reveals the truth. Yeah. And that's another thing. Most gangsters move in silence. Like most gangsters you can see, you know. You understand? They don't you could tell that they were living in the life. A lot of these rappers are just bragging. And now we're discovering that hey, all that was just you rhyming words and trying to sound gangster. And the heart of the matter, the formula is you have a gift, you have to be thankful for that gift. You have to be grateful. And what are you going to do with that gift? Big gift, big responsibility. Like they said in Spider Man. With great power comes great responsibility. Now, are you working on your gift? Because the abundance will come. The money's going to come if you're authentic and you work on your gift. Now, that's why they're mad at Kendrick because he's winning. Do you think that Kendrick and his time off, all he's doing is resting, spending time with his family, making sure he pours into himself, buying candles? Check out the shorts that I uploaded this week. That showed 3 days later after putting out Like Us, Kendrick's been chilling, and I was saying that for a long time. And he was buying candles from a vendor, just like they were having a show, an outdoor show, and he just bought candles and he's centering himself. So check out Kendrick's favorite candles on that shorts. Those are the ones that he purchased. He loves the grapefruit. He loves the affirmation, I am strong. So just check that out. That's what he does. He pours into himself and he works. You think right now, I just uploaded the Baby Keem and FIFA World Cup. These guys people are going to finally understand what PG Lang is. It's a creative um kingdom. Okay, PG Lang is a creative kingdom. They pour into their work. They always coming up with, hey, we're not just music. So they literally are mixing fashion, football, which is soccer, um and the World Cup, you understand, and music, fashion, and sports. They go to every avenue. They expand their gift. And that's the thing. If Offset and all these people were putting in work into their craft, and if Gucci was authentic with what he wants to do and honorable and have an honorable contract, because I'm sure the contract is kind of crazy too, that Pushisty on. Look at TDE. You understand? It would be working more seamlessly as a family, mutual respect. But you get what you put out. So if you're not respecting your artists, you get it. You're gonna get crazy artists or whatever. And also, none of these people have discernment. Who are you signing? You think I would ever sign Pushisty? Nah. You know what I'm saying? I listen, I would sign, I would make sure you show me. You got to show me your work ethic for months or years before I even think about it. You get me? So be thankful I'm not your A&R. So they're not putting in the work that it takes. So Cardi B, is bringing out a lot of artists. Her arena tour is like the most watched. Although I think um She's holding a record for female arena tours, most sold out. Her shows are sold out, and she's funny. She's super funny in her shows, and entertaining. And she tries to be sincere and come from a good place. And she has you know good intentions with things that she does. She needs to just restructure her life and understand what's important and how to carry herself, and just grow up, and understand who she you are what you attract a lot of times. So yeah, so it's a lot going on. Mysterious May said that was cute. Well, Stefan Diggs supported Cardi B's Little Miss Drama show in DC. Yeah, he showed up, and then she was acting extra. When I tell you she was being so extra because she knew he was watching. And then they said that they kind of left together, not together, but if you see, I have the video, but like he left and then she walked out the door like 5 minutes later with her security, no, a few minutes later, like almost right behind him. So for the people be like, leave him, girl, leave. She's gonna do what she's gonna do until she learns like who is for her and who is not. And that's just what it is. We can't save somebody that ain't trying to be saved. You get me? People gotta go through their journey and do that deep shadow work, and find out who they are. What do you want to be? What is your goal? What is it that you want out of life? You want to be by yourself? You want to just be partying all the time with guys that don't take you serious? What you want to do? So that's what it is. Now we're gonna touch up on Jack Harlow, and for me this is brief. And he said that he was under scrutiny, and for his statement, that he said that he has he's become a little blacker or whatever. I'll tell you. I'll let you know. He has faced backlash because, yeah, he said he became blacker while discussing his transition from rap to R&B to focus on his album Monica. Then they took him to Suplex. They took him to Magic Mountain. They took him to Great Adventure. They took him on a fantastic voyage to hell. These musicians, especially the rappers, are so materialistic and shallow. And when you're shallow, you're building a kingdom out of toothpicks, and it won't be sustainable. I would like to play the long game. You understand? And that's what Kendrick, PG Lang, TDE does. They build something that's sustainable. How long you want to be doing this? And do you want to expand? And that's what PG Lang and Kendrick. I understand why Kendrick every single day. I understand why he started PG Lang, because he wants to expand to. He wants to kick it up to notches unknown to man. He wants to have a whole creative industry because everything affects music. TV. Oh, you want to write a jingle? We could write a jingle for a commercial. Or you want to use our music for, and that's exactly what they do. They expand to commercial. They expand to sports. They expand to everything. Travel. Every type of company, every type of industry. That's what they do. They are a creative faucet, a never-ending creativity and ideas, to have an organization that they can have many artists. I feel like they can have not just musicians, but and musical artists, but they're musician, like they're artists. Look what they're doing with Baby King. They're giving him all kinds of endorsements and putting him on a front stage. And Kendrick is not selfish either, because Baby King got the Adidas thing, and he's like, okay, what else we can get you? They pour. They don't just shelf their artists like most of these knucklehead record labels do. They just shelf an artist, just put them there until their creativity shrivels and dries up like a raisin in the sun. Langston Hughes. So they're at war. That's why these people are at war with each other. Um, so it's crazy. Yeah, and that's what they do. Most of them are materialistic. Like, look at how many rollies you don't see. You don't see Kendrick talking about, I have so many things. And when he talks about it, just like Baby Keem, he's like, yeah, I did that. And that's the thing, Baby Keem is so authentic. He's like, I spent a lot of money just to scratch the itch. I try to do that. But what does he do? He gives you the lesson with it. He says, I try to do that. I try to spend money. I try to to satisfy my my to heal myself with just spending, um to heal the pain, to cover, to mask, and it got me nowhere. And now I'm here with you telling my story. This is They do create stuff that we can feel, that we can learn from, that we're witnessing, like, man, and we can relate to. And that's the thing. A lot of these artists, they're showing that they're just there for the money. So they spend too much, they spend over their means, and they're not really trying to create generational wealth. They're not creating generational wealth. If they were creating generational wealth, they would be tapping into different businesses, doing this and that. Now, I want to talk about Jay Z for a minute. Yes, while it looks like he's creating generational wealth and he's tapping into this and that, in my opinion, I feel like Jay Z thinks that the culture is for sale. A lot of people are confused and perplexed that Jay Z is pouring into investments into other countries, like millions of dollars. And it's like, okay, what are you doing for the black community, or what's going on? There's a conversation about that, right? Jay-Z put Kendrick on the Super Bowl stage because, number one, Kendrick is was the hottest artist at the time, and still is. Kendrick brings the views. They knew that. And check, brings the views. Kendrick brings the money. Check, money. Kendrick is, was and is the hottest artist. So of course, so it's like almost like a business deal. And we can't just treat the culture as it is a, we can make business transactions, but it's not for sale. You get what I'm saying? The culture is not for sale. You got to remain authentic to it, because on one minute he's putting Kendrick on the Super Bowl stage, and then on the other minute he's like trying to change the culture of hip hop. And it's like, well, because I said it before and I'm not afraid to say it again, he's answering to suits, to dudes and women in bigger suits, bigger billionaires that are controlling him, and he is in handshake deals with, that he got to move a certain way. And they said, you need to diffuse the situation. I could hear it now, allegedly, in my head, my opinion. You need to diffuse the situation because it's going to cost us money. They only care about money. And that's why they ask him that question. You think that there's an honorable billionaire? And I don't think there is, in my opinion. Again, what do y'all think? What do y'all think? Um, so, oh, Miss Lachelle, remember Miss Lachelle? That's why people hate Kendrick so much. He doesn't stay in a box and create things that never thought of. That's what I'm saying. People are starting to respect. Thank you so much, Miss Member Lachelle. They're starting to respect PG Lang and starting to understand his vision is expensive, expensive. His vision is he's kicking things up notches unknown to man. That's what I've always said. Things that they have never thought of. And by the way, that Baby Keem, pop up concert, that with Adidas, to do, they were creating the away kits for the World Cup, right? And the jerseys and everything. This is what they do with their artists. They maximize their potential and their talent, and without compromising the culture, right? Because they didn't dictate and say, you can't sing those songs, Baby King. No, we're leaving the album as is. He's going to perform the songs exactly as is. Do we have a company that can respect the culture? Yes, we do. Okay, we have a deal. And that's why everything they do is, like Mr. Shell said, he thinks above. They had that concert in an intersection, and that was symbolic of music intersecting sport, intersecting fashion, because it always has. Hip hop has influenced fashion designers to create more urban wear. And then when we wear the stuff, a lot of them will be like, well, we don't make, fashion for y'all. You understand? So they don't respect the culture. They're just trying to, pimp the culture out. And hence, that's why Kendrick, to Pimp a Butterfly, was created to begin with. The evils of greed and making money. But for them, PG Lang and Kendrick, it was symbolic. It was an intersection. It was just a huge intersection, symbolic, literative, and figurative meaning of why Baby Keem had that concert in an underpass. So and maximizing his potential. Not just, oh, you got a little endorsement from this. No, they're raising this boy up to to the highest degree. Um, so, and he's not selfish because Kendrick is not saying, "Oh, I need all these endorsements for myself." They're bringing this out like the Prince of PG Lang. We all love Kendrick and we all hate Drake. Keisha Comedy, how you doing? Blessings to everybody. Thank you. Same to you. So those are some, let's see what else we have. So Jack Harlow, made those comments, just to quickly, I guess, pack them out or just whatever. And I've always said, we can't allow them to even start coming to the barbecue or the cookout. You know what I'm saying? We can't even allow them. A lot of people came to the culture, they stayed too long, they pimped it out, they made money off of it. Okay, great. I was one of the people that never even thought they should even be allowed. We shouldn't even support them from day one because they're fake phonies and they're not authentic. They're not doing this for this. They're doing it for clout, for money, for whatever, for women, just for the what it seems to be the luxuries of of you know of fame and for fame. And it's so funny because Kendrick hates the industry and doesn't care about fame, and they recognize him the most. And the industry loves him, because again, he is an amazing artist, authentic and true to his culture. So Jack Harlow has said, I got blacker when he finished the interviewer statement. When the interviewer was saying, it seems like you're transitioning to whatever and you understand the culture or something like to that effect. And so he said that he's transitioning from rap to R&B. He don't know where he wants to be. Do you notice that he's just trying everything out? Go play with your own culture. Or go play with playing somebody else's face. He should never been whatever. So it takes like people doing a lot for, and a lot of people say there's a lot of dumb people and delayed people in this world because it takes people a lot. It wasn't until Kanye West and all this just went despicable beast mode that you're like, oh, now you're offended. They've been telling you who they are from the beginning. These people have been showing you who they are as well. So he's getting social media criticism because they're saying that he's a forced brand, trying to go through the black experience and pretending. And his remarks were problematic. He has an ego described as a shift more to his ego than an intimate sound. They're not authentic, you know that's what they do. Just like Drake. What happened to Drake? Drake, we discovered Drake gave the culture the middle finger as soon as things went left. And that's exactly what happens. They show who they really are when things don't go right. Because if you do something, you get canceled, you learn from it, and you actually move a different direction. How many times have Kanye West apologized, and all these people have apologized or have done stuff that we just brush under the rug? So now, when things get too far, that's when people sit down. Um, so we shouldn't have even invited them. We shouldn't have even given it a chance. Support their music, support anything that they have to do or have to say. Um, let's see what y'all saying. Mm, okay, let's see. Miss Marianne said these musicians, yeah, they're materialistic and shallow. Um, Miss Michelle said that's why people, hate Kendrick so much. His creativity is through the roof, and they're jealous because they can't come up with the stuff that they keep coming up with. That um, Texas Flower says some people have said Jack Harlow's Monica is pronounced like my right. They had a problem with the name. Yes, that's like Paula Dean saying vinegar. If you know, you know vinegar. You understand? And she was saying it in a funny way for years. And it wasn't until I think Cedric the Entertainer or somebody that brought it up to, and she also got in trouble for doing way too much. Like she's treating or wanting her staff to dress as slaves. That was a whole nother mess. But yeah. So yeah, Monica, right? They didn't like the title. Thank you for that. That's right. Um, just this. all these people, and a lot of us are probably at home saying, look, if they gave me money to do my little gift, I don't know if you're a baker, if you're, a good teacher, if you are good with animals, if you are good with music, whatever. It's like if somebody sponsored me to do my music and stuff like that, and thank you for the people that support me and my channel, I'm gonna do the best that I can. You understand? Look, my work ethic is better than a lot of these rappers. It's a shame. And so you have to have the work ethic, not just how you began to be a rapper when you were hungry. You got to keep that hunger, because Kendrick acts like he is starving. Like, yo, we need to eat, and he treats every album with dignity and with respect to give you the best. He wants to blow your mind with every album, and it shows. You know what I'm saying? You have honor and integrity in your work. Like I said, in my channel, I always try to do a little better. And that's what I always learn from people that said, look, try to be better than you were yesterday. Try to be better in whatever you do. Try to get better. Learn something new. Put the work in. How much work are you putting in? Because if you put in a lot of work into something, eventually your preparation will meet an opportunity. And when the opportunity comes, you're going to be ready. What happens with a lot of these people is that they sound good. They sound like rappers and they have, 20 tracks. It's like, no, we have whatever. And they start off like that, lying to music industries or record labels saying, no, I want to do this. And they're not, they just want the fame. They just want to show off and be like, oh, I'm viral. I'm whatever. So that's what happens. Marianne said Peachline is creating authentic music and longevity in the culture. The rest just about money to front on their fans. And all that front, and look at how all the systems are being unveiled. Look at how basically Offset is literally playing himself, unfortunately. And sorry that he got shot, but I'm very happy that he survived. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to see kids lose their dad regardless. He just has to get himself together and understand what is important. What example are you leaving for your kids? You just in casinos, just spending all your money, just not investing, not pouring into whatever, because all that money, they're in strip clubs just throwing $10,000 or bringing in a cart full of money. You could have sent a bunch of people to college, or just supported, hunger, and children, and sponsored children and family, domestic. So what else do we have? Let's see. Yeah, I'm just trying to get through all the drama. These celebrities are doing way too much um with their time, like way too much. Um a little other side note, Chile from uh TLC is under fire as well, because this is crazy. This is an honorable mention, I guess, or dishonorable mention. Chile from TLC is on the fire because they're like, "Oh my God, you're mega! What in the world is happening?" And they're outraged. And it goes back to what I said. People have to do a lot before the population, or most of the people, notice that they've been this way. That's why there's not that many people, and they call them the chosen ones, that have high discernment and intuition, that have seen who they are. For example, what happened with Chile, and they're saying that she's MAGA right now, it's because they found that she was liking some of MAGA posts and Trump stuff, and stuff that is not for our people, that doesn't support our people, represents our people, and helps our people. And she was like, and she literally said something silly. She said like, "Oh, I accidentally like something," right? Yo, I gotta look this up because I can't make it up. Chile. Um, she put an excuse. Um, she put an excuse. Publicly denied being a supporter of MAGA movements, that surfaced that she made a donation to Donald Trump's campaign. Lord have mercy. And reposted conspiracy theories. Now, why they're taking her to Magic Mountain and dragging her to the Cosmics is because she can't play about our Michelle Obama, and she did. And reposted a conspiracy about Michelle Obama. Are you serious? Are you serious? Our best first lady, you really gonna disrespect? She claimed that over 900 donations were made in error. I can't. I'm out of here. I'm tapping out. Check, please. I'm done. I'm out of here. Dear Lord. Sigh. I am not a MAGA and do not support any of many policies, she says, causing great harm to our people. She's about to do that tour also. And they're going to take her to Great Adventure, Magic Mountain, Funtime Junction, and they're going to drag her. They've been dragging her. Black Twitter has been dragging her through the whole entire universe. Um, and then once she said that, then they said, you know, the sleuths, they're going to do their work. You know, the people online are better than detectives and better than the FBI. So they retracted and saw every post. Somebody went through her whole post since she started. And she's been supporting, allegedly, MAGA posts and posting and liking stuff and reposting stuff for a while. Um, so yeah, I can't. I accidentally donated over $900. Like I can't. You can't make this up. They should just turn into stand-up comedians. Then, if we're gonna play like that, then you should just be a stand-up comedian. Then we're like, no, no, no. She's funny because this has got to be a joke, right? So they went back and saw that and just poured all her posts online, and it's all over the net. And she's busy trying to keep her head above water, and it's sad because she's going on that tour with who's she going on tour with? Yeah, they went back to 217, all lives, like all lives like they just went back when she was disputing Black Lives Matter. Like they just poured all that, into the toxic pool. Hello, T Star, and everyone. Member T Star, thank you so much for being here. So yeah, she's going on tour with Salt and Pepper, right, and Vogue. And oh, Salt and Pepper and Vogue is no better. That whole tour about to be a mess. That whole tour, I promise you, I'm not going. I promise you, I'm not going. I'm not giving a dollar to that nonsense. I'm not giving a dollar. Tell me what you do, and I'm gonna tell you who you are. Let me say that again. Tell me what you do, and I'm gonna tell you who you are. So Chile, donating and reposting MAGA stuff for years, okay, and now she want to try to go on tour, and all of them, they're like questionable. A lot of them have done, and she's not the only one. So Miss Lachelle, you are 1,000,000% right. Salt and Pepper and Vogue is no better. She said the whole tour is about to be a mess. So yeah, they're just gonna be dragged to Kingdom Come, and they're being dragged. So she's trying to keep her head above water. What do you think that's gonna do to sales? Now, if they have a bunch of sales, I don't care, because it's going back to what I've always said. Most of the population is delayed, is demolished, and is unaware and happily oblivious. It is incredible how many people support all of these fools, all of these idiots. Pushisty, world's hip hop's dumbest criminal. Kanye West, most toxic. I guess he's in competition with most toxic and disturbing actions against the culture of Black people. Um, all of these people, they've been showing you who they are. They've been showing you who they are. Listen, I'm still not over. I'm still not over Little Wayne. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but kissing Birdman, if that's your preference, to say, hey, this is who I am. I'm LGBT, whatever, whatever. And then he's excusing it. Like, he's like, oh no, that's my father. And, when did that happen? He was a teenager or 20 years old. It's like, oh, we do funny, weird things. And I've already seen, and some of the lyrics, like I said, with Little Wayne, they're despicable. Some of these artists, the lyrics are unacceptable, period. Degrading, demoralizing, over sexualizing. But yeah, they got bars, They got bars. My goal. Yeah, they got paintings of J. Cole behind. You get what I'm saying? If you know, you know. So it's amazing. I don't care if it's just 5 people that I have to talk to that agree with me that this is too much. These artists have been showing you who they are. They've been telling you. Like I said, yes, thank you, Jay-Z, because like I said, a broken clock could be right twice a day, right? You know what I'm saying? And God uses people to do a job. Jay-Z's job was to put Kendrick on the big stage so he could deliver his message and change the minds and elevate the collective and become and make people have discernment and become aware and unveil the mass of what's going on. So that was his job. But right after that, you can tell it's like, okay, it was good for that, but now it's affecting the money, right? Because what money hungry, that's all they are. So now it's like, yeah, we maybe should change. But if he would have won, if he would have never been ethered, he would have never made those type of statements. Like the culture, they all run to the culture. The culture's not so good, guys. Like maybe we need to edit the culture. Go tell a rock and roll guy not to, bang a guitar somewhere. Go tell a country singer not to do a sad song. Go tell a boxer, don't punch me, it hurts too much. Go tell a wrestler, yeah, you can wrestle, but no contact though, because that's a little aggressive and we trying to change. Go try to change another goddamn culture. Stop messing around with hip hop, man. Y'all gonna stop messing around, stop playing in our faces. Like, why us, right? And then it doesn't help that we have some idiots that just keep trying to out themselves, with shooting each other with some nonsense. And it's just like I said, I'm not over certain things that people show me. And it's like, you show me that, yo, you got to explain that, Little Wayne. Why you over there crying? Oh, he cried, but now he's better. He's on tour. I'm still laughing at that little halftime show that they gave him with gremlins and goblins, cartoons. And it's like, big ass baby, really? And so now he's happy. He's much better. He's like, I'm in the studio back because you gave me, he's a baby. Like, what the hell are you doing? These are the people y'all support. These are your goats. He could have been your goat back in the day, but right now, he's a little putty cat. He ain't a goat no more. He's a pussy cat. So, he's a peanuts to his elephant. Um, but I digress. 'Cause go off, then, sensitive. Go off. Go off, then. Um, let's see what y'all saying, because I know I could rant. I'm not going to the tour because Saul came to her defense. Oh hell no. Oh, Miss Marion, remember Marion? Oh hell no. Yeah, I heard something like that, but now, yes, yes. I heard that they were like that. Yeah. Oh heck no. Because they try again. Why are they? Why is she defending her? Right? Why is she defending that money, pimping out and it's sad because listen, Africa Bambaataa passed away, right? But what was he connected to? What is his legacy that he's leaving? You understand? Oh yeah, he started. What is his legacy? If you know, you know. He's associated with cases and a bunch of victims. So it's like, yeah, you started off as being a OG for the culture. You started off as doing this. Jay Z started off rapping fast, being hungry. You all started off. It's not just how you start; it's how you finishing. How you finishing? What you doing now? Because listen, if you understand that it's not just how things used to be, and that's what happened. People keep holding on to what things used to be. How many of you have had a friend for 5, 10 years that you had to like put boundaries with, and you found out this whole time this chick lied to me, or this whole time she was fake, this whole time we didn't see what it was. What happened? You evolved. Shout out to Evolving Eric. You evolved, you learned, you took all the mistakes and flipped them and turned them into lessons. These people don't learn a thing. You understand? So you learn, so you elevate it. Somebody stays stuck. So then you realize I have to set boundaries with you because you didn't grow. You didn't learn from all the mistakes. Yeah, we all fucked up. We all messed up. We all were toxic. We all were this. We all are dualities. But are we learning? That's what Kendrick's doing. Like, I'm learning. I have to learn. I'm not perfect, but am I learning? Because then we don't have nothing in common because you low vibrating. But when you mixing yourself with low vibrations, that's what you're gonna attract. That's why um Cardi can't find someone because she need to sit the hell down and sit her booty down and just be like, what am I worth? Am I worth somebody cheating on me with 1,000 girls? Am I worth like because the stuff that's coming out of Stefan, questionable. If you know, you know. There's rumors that are pretty bad, and not just cheating, but cheating with. Who? I don't want to get into it, but if you Google that, you'll see what I'm talking about. So these people got to just sit the hell down. And when people show you who they are, it's not how what they used to be. Because, like I said, Africa Bambaataa is associated with craziness. Um, Let me see. Diego's having him a good old time. I like it. Many of my friends and coworkers said they're not going. Yeah. Oh, it's a wrap. Yeah. Yeah, Miss Lachelle said it's a wrap. Yeah. If this messiness keeps up, the tour may end up canceled. Yeah. Texas said, yeah, I don't know. Listen, let's get barrels of popcorn. Let's watch parties dying left and right. You think now for the people that be like, oh no, Kendrick is just talking out of coincidence. That's not a coincidence. He keeps saying, watch the party die, and look at all these parties being canceled. Literally. Sensor said, you are so true. Jay-Z just picked the influential artist. The artist does the necessary work like Kendrick and Bad Bunny, and the hottest artists, the ones that could bring the views, they could bring the numbers, they could bring, because they're gonna keep making money. Kendrick didn't get paid for the Super Bowl. The artists don't get paid for the Super Bowl. They have a budget though, but they don't get paid, but they get paid in what happens afterwards. Consequently, he gets endorsement deals. He's being viewed by hundreds, by millions, and so he will have long-term wealth and prosperity and abundance that is a direct result of him being on the biggest stage so far. And that's why there are rumors and talks about him doing FIFA, so he can rest in Lisa. And he can, Miss Lachelle, keep it real, savage, savage. Listen, no, I got you. I got you the first time. I got you the first. I understand. I understood. No, but it's true. But you get what I'm saying? Like, if you know, you know. I'm not gonna get into it, but Africa Bambaataa was, you know what I'm saying? It's not what they start off, and you can't just hold on to like Kanye had great hits. Yes, he has great hits, but it's like, what are you doing? Because that's not great. Whatever the examples that they showing these poor little girls and these people, that's why the kids are turning, kind of the way they are. But let's see what else we have. Edward said, "Well, Angela, yeah, yeah, I know, yeah, we're talking about that." All right, so that's what that's what's been going on. Okay, let's talk about Remy Ma's diss track. Dear Jesus. Ooh, sigh. Ooh, sigh. Let me get some water. Let me get some water. Mm-mm, mm-mm, Lordy today. Thank you so much for my Remy Ma shorts going pretty viral. I had to pause the comments and I was like, wait, but some people might want to comment. So I put it for subscribers only, and members to be able to comment on the Remy Ma stuff because the comments was out of pocket. I was getting hundreds, 500 comments that I had to delete a bunch of them because people were going Google Gaga crazy. So what's happening with Remy Ma? Okay. By the way, her and Papoose are still legally married. Let's start there. They're in the process allegedly of getting a divorce. Great. Remy Ma, if you know, you know, has had a lot of hits. She was, just at some point she was the hottest female, one of the hottest female artists, rappers. She put in a lot of work. She has a ton of hits. Annie Up, you know what I'm saying? If you know, bangers after bangers. She's a battle rapper. She is battle tested. She has put in the work, right? Somewhere along the line, you know there was a situation, that landed her in jail. I don't want to get into that so much, but it's relevant to what we're going to say. All right, so now her and Papoose are going through a divorce. Remy Ma served 6 years, 2008, 2014, for a blicky situation. All right. Um, yeah, assault with a weapon. I'll just say that. Okay. All right. Papoose was there while she was incarcerated, and sentenced to prison, and while she, when she came out. All right, cool. Um, then they got married, right? Okay, okay. Now here's the thing, and again, my opinion is in 2008, a little bit after she came out. Okay, so here's the situation. I didn't like it the best. The best was nice. Okay. Um, so here's the thing. All right, she put Papoose has been with Clarissa, and she's a boxer, whatever. She makes money, successful. My opinion, I feel like Papoose can rap, but what is his work ethic? And for that matter, what has been Remy Ma has not been kind of working or putting in, that much work. And now she might be starting to work and everything. But between Papoose and Remy's work ethic is a lot better, has been a lot better. So now Papoose has been parading around with Clarissa, and they're saying that, there was some rumors saying that Remy cheated, etc. Their marriage is done basically, but they need to see it through. They need to finalize and finish and figure out what the heck is going on. Now, Remy has been a little vocal, but not really so vocal about Papoose. Papoose is getting a lot of backlash for being with Clarissa because they're saying like he's just smooshing off of her money. Um, so they're saying he attaches himself to women that may be successful, and and he's not really putting in a lot of work. Let's see, intense social media drama, cheating allegations. He's been feuding with 50 Cent, etc. Now he put out a diss track with 50, and it was cool, but the thing is, we got the same 24. What you mad for? What are you doing with your 24? Like Papoose, like what are your you don't really hear about a lot of projects coming out for him, albums. Like he's not in the booth. I don't know what the situation is. You understand? And the same thing with Remy. Her work ethic is a little better, but now she's whatever. She put out that diss track, and it's going viral because she's coming at both of them, domestic bars basically. So that's what's been going on. If she is gonna be working, I guess, on her music and whatever. Now, the reason why the track is going viral is because she has threatening bars. Again, she was like, this blicky goes through your logos, through your shirts, through your, right through. Like, yeah, you may be a boxer or whatever, but and if you know that she's been incarcerated for a situation and she's talking about it, so that's why people like, oh, and it just becomes very controversial and what's gonna happen. And they're living this messy divorce in front of all of us. So that's what's happening with Remy Ma. Thank you for the views and everything, but it is the whole thing is sad. It's sad the way it's going down. It's just regretful. You know, it's horrible. So I think they need to again sit down, reevaluate their life, and where are the children? Like what's going on? I don't even know. But this is the what they're deciding to do, and it's very public and it's very messy and it's on full display. And what she was saying on the diss track is crazy. It is crazy. She's a good rapper, but it's sad to see. So that's what the situation is with that. And now we're gonna talk about something lighter. Of course, we're gonna finish up with Baby Keem, TDE, new music, and the World Cup and Kendrick updates. Okay, I try to update you guys on Kendrick whereabouts and what's going on with him. Kendrick has been working, to my knowledge, what I believe, my opinion, and that Kendrick has been working. He has a lot going on. Remember, he teased new music, so he still has a lot of new music. He's still working on something. When he said that he was working on something, we got music on the way. I don't think he just meant Baby Keem. When he remember that video that his moment that went viral at the last TD Christmas. He had told, I forgot who he hip I forgot who he was, one of the rapper, he had asked him like, yo, you, what's up with your new music? And he said, don't worry, we got new music on the way. When he teased that song, that was amazing. So we know that he has music. I don't think it's just Baby Keem. I think he's working on something. When he pops out, and I'm gonna, make sure I quote my own self. When he pops out next time, it's gonna be grand. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be big. And I love the way on, Baby Keem's album, he didn't outdo him too much. He was just, going with the flow. He could have gone crazy on that feature, not just singing the hook, but so now, let's see. Okay. J Rock has been teasing like crazy. And sometimes I try to post some of the stuff, but I didn't post everything. He's been showing little clips and snippets of a new album. I think Isaiah Rashad has a new album and a new song that came out, I think, Friday. He has an album coming out next week, or in a couple of weeks. Um, let's see. But J Rock is teasing of an album, and I'm happy to hear it, to see it, because J Rock is, I think it's gonna be called Eastside Johnny, is what they suspect, or something to that effect, or he has a song, and I'm glad that he's putting in the work, because was always like, what's going on with J Rock? Because you see Q at the GNX tour, you see Q, you see Absol, going to the tour, and being there. Chef Boy, that's what it was. Thank you so much, Miss Lachelle. Chef Boy, yeah. That has that viral song. So J Rock has been teasing like crazy. When I tell you he had like 5 stories, but I didn't post so much of it. I posted a little bit on his birthday, when it was his birthday last week, so I posted that. Um so, and I think, in my opinion, to do predictions for Baby Keem's tour, which is starting in a few weeks. So please pray for me to be able to cover this and cover as much as I can. Also, I believe that possibly there is a chance. They're not really trying to tell me. I was trying to leave a conversation with Kita and Taiwan, and asking them, and Taiwan was just laughed, when I asked them, are you guys going to be on the tour for Baby Keem's album? And they just laughed, like, Taiwan just laughed it off or whatever. So there is a possibility that they did that song. They were dancing to Baby Keem stuff on their stories, and I posted that for Kita's birthday post that you see. So there's a possibility they might be on this tour, or Baby Keem. But think about how hard Baby Keem is working. He's gonna do Governor's Ball. He is possibly could be doing a headline tour with uh for the halftime show. So for the first time ever, the World Cup is gonna do a halftime show. So that's something that's been happening. And PG Lang's worked on jerseys. So there's a lot, in correlation with Adidas. So there's a lot of connection there. Let's see what else is happening. Absol and AC Chike were in the studio. Check out my shorts that show that they were in the studio. They're working on something as well. Black Hippie needs to be working on that album. I really don't understand, if, because at first I was saying the work ethic. These are they all? You got to get all 4 of them on the same page. All 4 of them have to agree to go on tour, to work out, to get their wind up, and to be able to do this, if they're going to do a Black Hippie album. So I understand Kendrick, and that it takes a lot for them to match up to Kendrick. I put a shorts up showing how Baby Keem, they got him working out. They got him working out. Did you see the shorts that he's so pushing? He actually slimmed down a lot too. He's in so much shape. They're working this boy to the bone. Yo, Divine Nine, if you know, you know, that's like a non-pledge, non-hazing process, but they're putting him through a little process, okay? Because they got that boy working and getting his win now. But Kendrick is running that boy up and down the universe. Let's run to Italy and back, yeah, and then that we'll have breakfast. They're working that boy out. So he's getting ready to go on tour and do all these things. So it's about to be crazy. Um, yeah, Melodic Blue, right. That was awesome. I have to upload more Melodic Blue for new fans and people that may not know about Baby Keem. His album was amazing. Melodic Blue was amazing. Like it's just such good quality. It's like thank you for giving us quality. Here, you could have my money. Here, you could have my you could, I could buy this vinyl. Here, I'll support you. Put in the freaking work. Make sure you think that we're honorable fans and give us what you've got. So Baby Keem's "Oh My Daughter" a vinyl autograph. Say less. Say less. Nah, that gotta be taken care of, Baby Keem. No, that's a fact. That's a fact. Yes, we need that Black Hippie album. So, what do y'all think? With the Black Hippie, I don't know if everybody could keep up with Kendrick, and that's probably one of the reasons. You get what I'm saying, guys? Like, he gonna work you the hell out. That little man, that dude got too much energy and too much stamina. If you know, you know. You seen him. Come on. I've already proven my point 2,000 times on my channel with over 2,000 uploads. He has stamina to give out to the community, like for days. So I don't know what's stopping it, or maybe they are working on it. Kendrick is aware of everything that's going on online. Every single thing. So I know he knows about this channel. I believe it to my core because I've shown it to too many people that are right next to him. Big Mo seen our channel. Smack has seen our channel. Macwap, like all these people, the dancers, like I've shown too many people. They've literally seen, and we're like, oh, that's so nice, and they like it, and they say all kinds of things. So I'm like, yeah, show it to the man, okay, show it to the boss. So they know, and they hear our cry in our channel and in all the channels and people and all the fans around the world that are like, Kendrick hates us. Kendrick, they hate us. Black Hippie hates us. We've been begging. I've never seen somebody beg so much for an album. I know that Black Hippie will just break the internet. Sorry, Beehive. Black Hippie album will break the damn universe because he's doing creativity. They're doing creativity for all of them. For Groovy Q, Ab Soul Burger, J Rock, Hisai Johnny, and King Kendrick, Mr. Morale, they gotta just plan all this stuff. That's another thing. Kendrick is a slave to creativity. I understand that too well. I don't want to put anything out unless it's great. I feel like trash if I put something out that's mediocre. I'm like, oh, that sucks. You know? So, and he's not just planning an album. When Kendrick does an album, he's like, what's the tour? What are the things that we can be a part of? What are the festivals that are going to come with this? What are the expansive? His mind is expansive, as you see. He doesn't just be like, oh, I have a new song. Look at the fall off. It literally fell off, J. Cole. Like, who cares? Nobody cares. You did a string of idiotic and imbecile movements in all those interviews. You just show you're an imbecile. So Kendrick doesn't do that. He's gonna make sure he puts out. So I hope they can work it out, because they keep teasing that they have this project, they have that project, and they need to work it out. So the World Cup has been rumored that, now you know what hurts Drake. Drake is in all kinds of. He's probably crying in his sleep right now. But that there was talks about him doing the World Cup and all this. So let's see how it plays out. It is the reason why a lot of content creators were not talking about Kendrick doing the World Cup is because it wasn't. That's a big, you know, that's a big thing to claim. That's a big claim. So we wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure. I must speak for myself. I wanted to collect data, evidence, and I have been putting out. I put out the video, the concert with the collaboration with Adidas, with Baby Keem, and that underpass in the highway downtown LA. I've been putting that, and I see what they're doing. They're doing stuff, and the PG Langs have put out like 15, 20 stories on the soccer, on soccer. And I didn't want to put it out until it's like more confirmed, a little bit more confirmed. And I spoke to the people I needed to speak to. I was waiting for replies. It's like, yo, get at me. Let me know what's good. So it's a little kind of confirmed, a little bit. You understand? Allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly because you know how it goes. So we hope to see it. We hope it is true. But if not, they already kind of collaborated with Global Citizens. They've been collaborating. Um, SZA's also teasing, as I said, of new music with Steve Lacy. So help me God, that thing is going. Ooh, that thing gonna be fire! Oh my heavenly Father. So they've been in the lab. So everybody in TDE's been working. J. Cole's in China playing basketball. Yeah, because Kendrick will knock the career out of you. Let me say it again. Kendrick will knock the career and bring some and make it. He's a career changer. You understand? He's a life changer. He will change your life. You mess around with him. And the funny thing is that people still want it. You get me? People like game are like, you know what? If I fail, I fail, but at least I'll be viral because everybody will hate me because I mess with Kendrick or I put a diss track and Kendrick's not paying him no mind. Kendrick's enemies, as I said before, is increasing by the minute. More protection for Kendrick, prayers, everything because think about it. He's talking about he lost 16 friends and whacked out mural. Boy, that was like a couple years ago. By now, look at all the awards they have given this man. Please keep this man protected. Kendrick continue to be protected. And I have faith that he's not a knucklehead gonna be arguing with somebody at a casino, just hanging out wherever. And respectfully, I do say that he can't just walk around LA without any protection. He can't just be doing, mistakes that, rest in peace, Nipsey and everybody else. He can't just be putting out and doing things recklessly because he is absolutely world known. So we will see, what happens. J. Cole in China playing basketball took me clean out. J. Cole took me clean out. Angie Sergeant, how you doing? Um, Clean out. Don't he have a tour to plan? No, that's what I'm saying. What the hell is he doing, J. Cole? Oh my god, I can't laugh enough. Like my face hurts from laughing at these idiots. Every time I do a Drake edit, I'm cracking up. I didn't want to do a Drake edit. I'm tired. That's why I said I'm gonna just react to it in the live because all the forces are teaming up against him, and all like Drake's Goonies and OV hoes are all trying to desperately help him. You never hear of Kendrick, all these people giving opinions to Kendrick, like take out the bangers. No, don't just do bangers. We need bars. Everybody's trying to save Drake, and Drake cannot be saved. Let me say that again. He cannot be saved. His karma and his consequences are inevitable. His downfall still continue for the people that are questioning. Oh, but he could put out right. Nobody cares. I don't care if he has sold out tours. I don't care about any of that because it's gonna be sold out with a bunch of dumb people that don't know, they're going to be asking him for money and pay my tuition and pay my whatever with signs like that. I don't care about a $12 tour ticket. I don't care about that. Remember, he has been embarrassed so many times that I think he either loves embarrassment or he's immune to humiliation, um, because he doesn't care. He just cares about being narcissistic and being right, and everybody's against me. And he's fighting for his life and his album. Now, people don't. He's so irrelevant. People like almost for a little while. I almost forgot about Drake, not Drake, but I almost forgot about Drake. And then every time he surfaces, it's like stupidity. So now he got this whole amicus brief of scholars against him that are going to destroy his appeal. Wonderful. That makes the sun bright and the day light. So all these people just messing up, all these people are not putting in the work, are not sitting down, analyzing their life, never were for the culture. So all these honorable mentions, all these people that we talked about today, Drake, Kanye, Pushisty, Gucci, all these people have just been um, just fooling around, playing in our faces. They never cared about the culture. But in the meantime, Michael Jackson has a new movie with Jafar Jackson, his nephew, coming out. New music from TDE. Kendrick's about to show out and show off. Black Hippie might be cooking something. Rakim put Kendrick in his top 10. Go check out that shorts. And yeah, that's about it. Look at God. Look at God. So Drake got to go to therapy. He needs a team of therapists. You know how he needed a team of ghostwriters? He needs a team of therapists. That's what he needs. I'm so sick of bawling and party, Wayne crying every 5 seconds. All of them culture vultures, all of them sissies, and all of them were talking so gangster. Isn't that funny? Lil Wayne was like a little gangster, like talking all this smack in the lyrics, and J. Cole, I'm the best, I'm the this. And when push came to shove, he's like, I don't know. I'm not the best. Anybody that believes it is as foolish as I am. Yo, let's go watch like memes and funny cartoons on J Cole, because that thing brings me joy. Just looking at Kendrick don't need he's over there buying candles and centering himself with shea butter and babies and blessings, being around his babies and blessings, and he don't care about none of this stuff and working. That's all he's doing, is just creating magic in a studio. And that's why he doesn't care, because when you're busy being grateful and high vibrating and in a studio, just imagine being in a we would all pay what we don't have. It's like, here, take my mortgage, take my house, just to be in the studio, right? It's magic. I love being in studios, and it's like so fun and so elevating listening to all these beautiful sounds, and that's what he's doing. And we can't wait to see what happens, and I will be covering as much as I can. We'll be seeing Baby Keem. Just and just be ready. With Kendrick, you have to be ready for when this dude pops out and the surprises that he gets. Because remember, we've been asking about Black Hippie. It's like, we could give it to you, but what you gonna do with it? Are we ready? Are we ready? There's a lot of concerts. We need a concert jar, right? A savings, and just be like, in case shit happens, in case the boogeyman pops out and shows me. You know what I mean? You need a jar. That's what I do, literally. I'm like, yo, I gotta put in for this man. Like, oh, the mic, yeah, the mic is like, okay, that's it, girl. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me a little bit? Yeah, so yeah, it just stopped. Okay. But thank you so much. I think she hit her mic. Yeah. Can you hear now? I'm just literally saying goodbye, but thank you so much. Um, yeah, I might have hit my mic. Can you guys hear me? Yes. Yeah, can you I don't know if you guys can hear me. Okay, cool. But I was just saying thank you so much. I'm gonna be trying to do giveaways and stuff like that, stuff for the membership. Um, so thank you for being here, Miss Sharon. Thank you for your support. I see your comments. I'm starting to like get to know your names because I'm like, oh, this person comments a lot. I appreciate it. Is the sound back? Yeah. Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah, my mic just has like 2 hours or whatever, and I'm like, okay. But again, I appreciate you guys. I meant to say, yeah. And anything you could put out a post if you want to see more of something. You could put out a post and let me know what you want to see more of. You know, I'm doing more long form. I'm gonna go through all the hearts, so that's gonna take a minute. You know, just bear with me and yeah, check out my long form if you want. You know, see my opinions and stuff like that, and comment, like, subscribe. If you're able to hype the video. Some people are able to hype, some don't. And if you want to support, let me see. Do I have that? My join the membership, Cash App, stuff information. So I'm learning how to do, like, just to make sure I put everything. Um, yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay, thank you again for being here on this Sunday afternoon, morning. I don't know where y'all at, but and just look out for Baby KEEM. I'm gonna be posting like crazy. Don't worry about me, Texas. I'm gonna get some rest. Thank you for caring about me with that. And you know, she's like, "Oh my God, you post at 3 in the morning." I'm insane. Yeah, I'm a boogie woman. You know, I just be popping out at all kinds of weird things. But I appreciate y'all. See y'all next time. And thank you so much. Bye.